everybody. Thanks for joining me today. So I get asked a lot. I don't?
No.
Did I get asked?
No.
Hey everybody. Thanks for joining me today. We've covered a lot of movies on the podcast. One of these is the movies we've covered. Hey everybody. Thanks for joining me today. Got a new YouTube video out. We've covered a lot of movies on the podcast. Here's all the movies we've covered so far, season 1, and what you've heard so far in season 2. So one of the things I wanted to go over is, as a movie buff, I get asked a lot. Honestly, go back and listen to Those Geeks You Know or any of the previous podcasts that I've been on, and I'll be the first one to tell you it's really hard to pick your favorite movie. And the reason for that is because there's many different genres, there's different things you're looking at, there's different things you're comparing. It's just too difficult. There's movies that I really enjoy watching, and there's movies that I appreciate for their cinematic value or for the director's vision. But ultimately, at the end of the day, my favorite movie is too hard of a list. But what I thought I'd do is I would narrow it down to the movies that we've covered on the podcast, season 1 and so far in season 2, and tell you what my top 10 movies from that list are. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with number 10. Before I get into the list, I want to go over, if you can see what we have listed here, Murder of Crows, Birdman, Killing Them Softly, The King of Staten Island, Wind River, Green Room, Draft Day, Hereditary, Brightburn, Little Giants, Idiocracy, The Sisters Brothers, Asphalt Jungle, Predestination, Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Sucker Punch, Ladder 49, and Resolution. Not all these movies are great movies, so you might think, well, that's easy, that movie isn't going to be on the list. But when you got to pick 10 out of this, it could be a little more difficult than you think. Not as a shot to my guests for the movies they picked. We had some great conversations about these movies, but I do want to go through and give you my top 10. So here we go. Starting at number 10, relatively easy. To me, this was a pretty okay movie. I didn't want to claw my eyes out from watching it. A little slow moving, but it did have one of my favorite comedians in it. I'm going to go with The King of Staten Island. Pete Davidson. It was a good movie. I didn't hate watching it. I will say this: we did watch it when it first came out, so it cost me like $20 to rent it and watch it. Not worth it. It'll be in your $5 bin soon enough. Pick it up, or if you already have Netflix or Hulu and it hits that sooner or later, yeah, watch it there. Second movie, this was watched really at the height of the season. We had a great conversation about it. It really enhanced the movie. Plus, the movie was pretty good. It over dramatized, I think, the actual event. But for all in all, it wasn't a bad movie. I liked it. Huge fan of Kevin Costner. I'm gonna go with Draft Day at number 9. If you disagree with my list or you want to make any comments on it, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Or tell me what your top 10 were. Number 8, this was a good movie. My issue with this movie, and the reason why I don't think it went higher on the list, is because I didn't really even realize it was a comedy until I was kind of told that or looked it up later. It wasn't out loud laughing funny. I kind of saw it more as a drama with maybe a few sprinkles of satire, if you will. But all in all, again, good movie. Didn't hate watching it. That's going to be The Sisters Brothers. That was our season 1 finale. Go back and listen to that. Me and the owners of Don't Forget a Towel chatted up about that. It was pretty good. I jumped over. Let me redo that. Bouncing around a little bit, getting a little crazy. The next movie I want to talk about, it was pretty good. I liked it. It's kind of right up there with one of his other movies, Burn After Reading, where it's got kind of this dark comedy to it. But all in all, the movie was fun to follow and interesting as to their approach. I do like the 2 bad guys in this movie. I think they kind of made the movie. And then obviously Brad Pitt, he wasn't a bad addition as well. Killing Them Softly is going to come in at number 7. Me and Lauren chatted about that one. Neither one of us had seen that movie. If I got to be honest, and I'm only going to say this once and here between us as friends, that's one of my favorite things to do is to chat about movies that neither me the next one I want to talk about, it was a great movie to watch with 2 friends of mine. It was very interesting. I liked the detective noir part of it. I do think they jumped a little bit too fast into the ending, which kind of prevented it from going higher on my list. And that's going to be Wind River. Watch that with Mr. Alec and Matt. It was a great movie. I would recommend watching it. It's worth the watch. At this point, I think this is the definitive line from the top 10 to the top 5. This is where we're getting more into movies that I don't think I was really forced to put on the list. These are movies that I really did enjoy. Great movies, good to listen to. And surprisingly, high on the list, number 5, or maybe not surprisingly, it's kind of a cult following, not even cult following, it's kind of a blockbuster following. That's going to be our newest movie, Ladder 49. Talked about that from our new episodes, talking to them about that. It's a new segment we're going to do every season. Really enjoyed this. It enhanced the movie a lot, talking to it with a firefighter and kind of getting the inside information on it. Really like that. It's a shame Johnny T and his career has taken a plummet because he really is a good actor. And that does highlight Joaquin Phoenix, who is on this list twice. My next favorite movie, probably not surprising, seeing it as on this list. It was one of the earlier episodes we did in the podcast, and kind of before I got into the whole segment of letting the guests pick the movie. It's a movie I've raved about on and off mic for a couple of years now, and that's going to be Murder of Crows. This is not a blockbuster hit. It's actually a straight-to-DVD release. However, it does jump into that kind of noir feel. I really like the premise and the storyline and kind of where the murder mystery went, where it started from. Definitely recommend checking that out if you haven't already. This is big. Top 3. Before I go any further, I do want to give a shout out to my nephew, Justin. I told him I'd give him a shout out in the next video. Best in that game, Rocket League. He is definitely second best in Rocket League. Second best to me, but we'll let him argue that point. So top 3, here we go. Coming in at number 3, probably on somebody's list. If you're looking at what's left, you got to say, well, that movie's going to be on there because of course it's going to be Little Giants. What do you not like about this movie? This has got. If you're looking at what we've covered so far, this has got to be on your top 10 list, if not top 5. Great movie. Really enjoyed watching it. Enjoyed chatting it up. That was also my wife's episode. I'm not going to say she paid me to be on the top 3. She paid me to be on the top 3. Top 2. This is nervous. I'm nervous. Sweating. Whew. And my new Hollowed 2 t-shirt. Not new. Hollowed 3. Check it out. Kickstarter. Definitely support local. Anyway, number 2 movie. Probably, well, the second best movie we've covered so far. And I don't see this movie leaving a top 2 position in quite a long time. I might even argue that it's close to number 1, but ultimately I put it at number 2. Predestination. This movie, I did not know what to suspect. I knew it was going to have twists and turns. Amazing concept. Really plays into the whole time travel loop type scenarios. Worth a watch. If you haven't seen it, definitely check it out. I would highly recommend. Phenomenal movie. Predestination, number 2. Coming at number 1, what do we have left? We got Birdman, Green Room, Brightburn, Hereditary, Idiocracy, The Asphalt Jungle, Sucker Punch, Nightmare on Elm Street 3, and Resolution. So let me start by saying I would have to take Idiocracy off the list. Hunter, great episode. Really enjoyed talking with him about the movie, but ultimately this was not a good movie. I didn't like it. It's not even really that funny. So that's off the list. We're gonna have to get rid of the Hunters or the Wex altogether. Asphalt Jungle, again, good movie. If you like old Hollywood movies and really appreciating the culture and where it came from, this is worth the watch. Ultimately, though, when compared to some of the blockbusters that we have nowadays, it's just not there for me. And when I sit down and watch a movie, I'm probably not going to pick this one up. So sorry, Wex, you are off the list. Man, number 1, this is going to be tough. But is it really? Number 1 movie that we've watched so far, Birdman. It's got to be Birdman. This movie is crazy. One shot. The cinematography is phenomenal. Michael Keaton is a great actor. Even Emma Stone, who I'm not a huge fan of. I mean, she's okay. She does good in this movie. Edward Norton does good. You love to hate him in this movie. If you haven't seen Birdman, check it out. Completely worth a watch. Guys, here's my top 10. I hope you enjoyed the video. Definitely be more to come. But all in all, thanks for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and share. Social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, everything. And Catch you guys next time.